And I am joined with Bill Foley. Now, Bill Foley is a candidate for chief executive over in Butte, Silver County. Bill, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Jane?
Doing very well. I wanted to thank you for being on with us this morning. Now, there are a lot of issues that people over in Butte Silver are concerned about, one of which, that I've heard at least, is transparency. Now, when it comes to transparency, especially dealing with government agencies like the EPA, if you were elected for chief executive, how would you handle such a hard issue like that?
Yeah, and I think transparency is the heart of so many issues. You know, I think every issue people talk about, that seems to be what the problem is. I want to move the process, the public process, up further, along when we make these decisions. As it is now, the decisions are made behind closed doors, and sometimes, if we're lucky, we get like one night to go to a meeting and talk about our grievances with this plan, and then we get a pat on the head for our participation, and they just go along with what they were going to do. I think just being open and honest from the beginning with people is what we need to do. People need to have a say, and it's got to be early before the decision is made. That way people don't get too involved with their decision, they get too married to their decision, and they don't want to be questioned after they make their decision. So I think public process can work. It showed that it worked when it was reluctant public process, when we pushed them to look at the pit to dump from the consent decree instead of buy homes in Centerville. And although that fight is not completely over, the homes in Centerville are still at risk. They're looking at dumping the majority of that in the pit, and that came right out of a public meeting that they were reluctant to go with. So I think that showed right there that public participation and transparency can work if they let it.
And you've been critical of the current administration over transparency with the EPA. If elected, what would you do to remedy that? What would you do to make a change for your own administration moving forward?
Well, we'd follow Montana law with open meeting laws, and we'd have minutes published. You see, nowadays you don't have any. A lot of the meetings that we have, there's no agendas, there's no announcement there. A lot of them are closed, they're completely behind doors. I would make sure the meetings are open, at least for public to view. The open meeting doesn't mean everyone gets to scream and yell all the time, but they should be able to sit and observe and see what's going on, and not have to use Microsoft Teams, which a lot of the people, including myself, aren't really great at using Microsoft Teams. So they want to participate, they can't because of that. So I think we need to have just open meetings, follow Montana laws. It's right there, open meeting laws. You have an agenda, you have minutes, and let people know what's going on. It shouldn't be that hard, really.
And another thing that I was talking with some people that live over in Butte is kind of the rise in petty crime that's going on, whether it be theft, robbery, things of that nature. What have you noticed in the mining city in terms of crime, and how would you like to see that changed?
Well, I noticed crime it seems like it's more of an issue in different neighborhoods. There's some neighborhoods like Center Butte is having a really big problem with crime, and they're just not treated fairly. I think we need to treat all our neighborhoods fairly. I know there was efforts to clean up that neighborhood, just cosmetically at least, and they were denied a dumpster for a neighborhood organized cleanup in Center Butte. But we need to enforce the laws that are on the books. We need to give our police officers the resource to deal with these crimes. And of course, at the heart of a lot of this is the drug issue. And once the drug issue gets to the police, it's already beyond the point of rescue, right? We need to work on some kind of education and some prevention, because I think a little bit of prevention goes a long way when it comes to drugs. And I think we need to do a lot more than just some billboards and some commercials. I think we need to get into schools and work with the kids and show them the dangers of these drugs and before they get hooked on them, because I think we all have a family member or a friend who was a really good person, took a wrong turn, and ended up, living in the drug way of life. And it's really sad. And I think hopefully we can prevent some of that.
Mr. Foley, thank you very much for joining us here on Montana This Morning. It's a pleasure to have you.
Jane, it's an honor. I'm a big fan. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Matt's going to have a look at that forecast for you.